one never really gets a chance to make a first impression, for his clothing has already done that. For when you walk in a room, you will be sized up. It will be quite clear from your exoskeleton and attire that you are clothed in, what your job is, what religion you practice, probably how organized your life is, and whether or not you got some dandruff issues. But your clothing acts like a welcoming party. Your clothing, done right, will actually add up in your spiritual bank account to many mitzvos to araisa. If you should put the fringes on the corners of the garment, fulfill tzitzis, and clothing gone horribly wrong. If you should weave wool and linen together, kilayim could destroy everything from clothing. And surely you picked up on the fact that the greatest tragedy known to mankind, when Adam and Eve, Adam and Chava, ate from the forbidden fruit from that Eitz HaDa'as, when they felt barren and naked out in the open, the answer was, let's give them some clothing. Clothing was the very first answer. And a Jew knows that there is nothing small in this world, and clothing is no different. But listen here, for this takes things to a whole nother league. When in Parshas Tetzaveh, we find that we are v'asu, we are to make clothing for the high priest, special vestments. Surely you are aware of their likeness. But v'asu is big day Aaron l'kacha l'cha li. Why? We are to make them to make Aaron part of the priesthood, the Kohen Gadol. So what does the making and the donning of Aaron's clothing have to do with turning him into a Kohen? Says Rashi, and I quote, listen just how important our clothing is. L'kacho, to make him holy, to sanctify him, l'hachaniso b'kahuna al yedei habegadim. That we bring him into the priesthood, you elevate him to these lofty spiritual heights by donning the clothing. When he puts them on, he becomes like this superhero. He becomes elevated from a plain Israelite to an elevated, lofty high priest. How? Al yedei habegadim. By wearing these pieces of clothing. That makes you holy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are a part of the kingdom of priests, and we are a nation that is holy. It is important that we dress with nobility. We dress dignified and monarchically. We dress to impress. We dress to define ourselves how we want to be defined. We dress the way that the Torah wants us to dress. But doing clothing, big day kahuna, big day kodesh properly can really elevate you to unimaginable heights. Keep this in mind every morning when you get dressed. You should do it to impress.